Hey guys, I just want to do a quick vlog this morning of something I saw online about an hour ago on Facebook. I'm not going to say who it was. There's nothing wrong with what's been said, but it's a topic that I keep seeing coming up time and time again. This one was from a channel creator, but I see it from a lot of people. I hear it from a lot of people, and basically what the post was a channel creator who doesn't want to do any more ghost hunts because nothing happens, and they're questioning the paranormal generally. Is it real? Are they wasting their time? I'm paraphrasing, but I hear this a lot. It might, in some ways, it's partly the fake channel's fault that this happens, because they go out and dude, bro, demon, everything happens every single time they go out. Within seconds of walking into a building, there's activity. There's voices on the spirit apps, there's tapping, there's knocking. We all know how it works. And then you see the real investigation teams go out and they'll sit and talk to the walls for few hours and nothing happens, and they will freely admit that most of the time nothing happens. And if something does happen, like a knock or something moves, they try and debunk it, and even if they can't, they still won't quite rightly say, it's definitely paranormal, because they can't prove it. It takes a lot of faith in the paranormal, for want of a better word, to keep doing that, to keep searching. And I don't know the history of every single paranormal investigator, but I do know that a lot of them have their own experiences from the past, and that's why they've started investigating in the first place. So they're searching for further evidence other than what they've already had from their own personal experience. I'm using evidence loosely, but you know what I'm saying. With personal experience, I've had them. I've been considering for some time putting my own experiences on the channel, and I am thinking of doing that now. I've mentioned them once or twice in live on when I've been on panels. I haven't actually put them on here, so I'm going to start doing that soon. Now, even before I knew the word debunk, even as a kid, I would always look for explanations. I do believe in the paranormal, but I will always try to explain anything I've been through. And the examples I'll be putting on the channel at some point are the big ones that I absolutely can't explain. I'm not saying the paranormal, I'm saying I can't explain them. But I do believe in the paranormal, and I always think it's a shame when that, because I believe that the paranormal is a loose term. It's a huge industry right now, which shows to me that people still like having that mystery in the world. As far as we've come, as technological as we are, there's something about the paranormal that draws people in. And I do think it's something that needs to be looked at. It would be nice if it was taken more seriously. In terms of, for example, last time I looked parapsychology, and parapsychology will be one of my episodes of History of Debunking. There are no parapsychology courses in the US universities right now. Understandably, it's not taken seriously now. Universities work by funding, and if the topic isn't viable, they're not going to fund it, they're not going to offer it. But I think that's a shame, because I think it's still needed, and I really do think it's needed. But that's the way it works. I'm going off track, I'm sorry. But in this belief in the paranormal, the word itself, there's a couple of different ways that it's actually spoken about the paranormal. One is that it's something that is impossible for science to explain. I don't like the word impossible. So, and the other is that under the current way of science is that it can't be explained. which is the way I tend to go, because I actually believe in the paranormal, but I also believe that over time, and I think it'll be a long period of time, science will need to catch up. There will be explanations for it that we currently can't comprehend. If you saw my vlog, my first episode of History of Debunking, I was talking about the other, and I started out by talking about things that older and ancient civilizations would experience, and they had no understanding of it, and so they put paranormal explanations onto it. The first example I used was the solar eclipse. Hundreds of years, thousands of years ago, all they were looking at is suddenly the sun turns black. And the explanations were things like it was a message from the gods, it was a portent of doom, even in some cases a giant monster eating the sun. It sounds ridiculous now, but thousands of years later, we realise it's the moon going in front of the sun when it's in perfect alignment. We know what a solar eclipse is now. We're not frightened by it. The last one in Canada, because I know I have friends who were near the location, millions of people descended on where they could actually see the full eclipse, and it only lasts for a matter of seconds, minutes, but we're enthralled by it now because we know what it is. We know what an eclipse is. And the point I'm trying to make in my long-winded way, because I haven't planned this vlog out, it's a gut reaction, is I do believe that eventually science will be able to explain a lot of the occurrences that we see as paranormal now. I don't think it will necessarily be an explanation that science wants to hear right now. My personal belief is it will turn out that certain things do happen. We just don't understand them yet. But that's my opinion. But science works slowly. When we look back over time, it looks as though it's working really quickly. But science has to go through each stage to get to an answer. Thousands of years ago, somebody couldn't stand in the crowd and say, "Oh, what I think is happening is the moon is going in front of the sun." People had no idea. So I think we probably my lifetime, and probably anybody that's watching lifetime, whatever your age is we probably won't see a lot of these explanations in ours, but I think they will come eventually. What my hope is, eventually they don't explain everything. I've said this time and time again, we need mystery in the world. We need that bit of excitement of, what was that? We can't explain it. I do think that's needed. I really do think that's needed. But what I'm finding, I'm hearing quite a lot at the moment, because, the real investigation teams absolutely 100% should be taken seriously. And it's great that they're becoming more and more popular, and they are starting to slowly get the clicks and views and the subs. I mean, the Ouija brothers are over 100,000. My favourite UK team is Real Evidence. They're over 30,000. I mean, that's great for people who are going out time and time again and often coming back with very little or nothing. That's fabulous, because people are taking it seriously. And I just think it's important. I think it's important to hold on to that. But I completely get why some people are getting disillusioned, because what's not helping is you get the fake channels going out and finding out things time and time again. They step through the door and there's a knock, or there's a voice, or something gets moved. It doesn't happen like that. Any investigator, and I'm repeating myself, but any investigator will tell you it doesn't happen like that. So that, along with the way culture works, we love our horror movies, we love our horror TV, we want instant gratification from it. And those people who do genuinely believe in the paranormal, or genuinely want to believe in the paranormal, you're just getting the two extremes. You're getting, the fakers with demons coming out of their ears, and you've got the real teams saying, "Oh, well, we didn't catch anything today, but we'll try again next time." Because they're being honest. They're being honest. I'm in my 50s. I have had quite a few unexplainable, I'll be able to explain some of them, unexplainable paranormal experiences, including some big ones, over my lifetime. But that's over my lifetime. I haven't gone out looking for it. That's over my lifetime. I don't get one every week. I don't go out on a Saturday and suddenly have a paranormal experience. So the tenacity of these investigation teams is really good. And even though I am seeing some channels grow more now, it's still not the easy money that the fakers get. So you have to be dedicated to go out and do that. You have to be dedicated to stand your ground and actually not fake anything. One channel I support is Noah Faraday, and he's got the looks, he's got the personality, he's got the drive. He could have 3, 4, 5 times the number of subscribers he's got, but he's got the integrity to say, no, I'm doing it properly. I'm not going to fake anything. Do I agree with everything Noah comes up with? No, I don't. But he is honest. He has got that drive to do things properly, when he actually, I believe, could actually go a lot higher if he didn't have that. So in terms of belief in the paranormal, here's my other thing, and this is kind of where I'm going with the channel as well, is obviously I'm doing the history of debunking at the moment, looking at people's belief in the paranormal, and the rise of the ghost hunters, and eventually the rise of the debunkers. After that, I will be spreading out the paranormal content topics, because I think that we need to be looking a little bit of a wider remit, other than just going on a ghost hunt. Not saying they're not important. Not saying they're not important, so don't come back at me on that one. They are 100% important. They're the cornerstone of our community, along with the debunking. But I do think that maybe a little bit of wider explanation of the topics of the paranormal, different subjects coming in, and just different ways of looking at things. The next series I'm doing because the book I'm covering, it's not even about the topics in there. It's about thinking in a different way. And I know what will happen. I know that, the skeptics and those who work from a scientific approach are going to sort of, look through dubious eyes at me for doing that, because I am very big on research, and I am very big on scientific methods being done properly, but I don't think there's anything wrong with maybe thinking outside the box for a change, even if nothing comes of it. But I do think it's a shame that because of these two polar opposites we've got in our community at the moment, I don't just mean the debunking community, I mean the paranormal community. You've got the fakers. You've got all that evidence with the fakers. Evidence, and you've got the real investigators who are getting the occasional little possible bit every so often. And I think it's a shame, especially when it's somebody who goes out doing investigations. They're just, I'm not doing this anymore. I get it. I do get it. But we need to, where possible, be tenacious. Be tenacious. If it's a subject that you're passionate about, you need to just keep going. Because as I said, probably in my lifetime, won't ever see any hard evidence or any explanations. But one day there will be explanations. One day science will find some answers, Um, but it won't if we stop now. Not having to go at the person who's stopping, I fully understand, and they have other things that they do with their channel, and I understand changing it. I'm not having to go. I'm just talking about just sort of keeping going, even if it's as a skeptic, you know, keeping going, having that interest in the paranormal, because as a community, both on YouTube and worldwide, as a community, we need to keep that interest going in order to be able to research it properly. So I think I've waffled a bit, and I'm sorry, but that's today's vlog.